All right, I screwed up, but it's our final video.
The final video making
Cyberpunk
stupid old references.
2077.
Oh shit. CD
CD
Projekt Red joint. Those are the guys that make the Witcher games. If you might have heard of them.
Yeah, they're all about choices and.
Have you ever played Witcher? I haven't actually.
And
people hate me for it.
Why do they hate you for it?
Because they're like, Witcher 3 is like the best video game ever made. What's wrong with you? You're a gamer. And I'm like, I don't like fantasy games. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's also like a super long RPG thing. You're more into the.
It's an open world RPG fantasy game. Those are all things that I don't typically like.
Yeah, so they can't be mad at you. I'm not mad at you, dude.
But have you played it?
No.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna end the podcast right here.
It's not a podcast.
comment,
it's a reaction video.
A reaction video. It's a video.
All right. So first of all, they said so. Cyberpunk 20. It's a video. Cyberpunk 2077 is an open world, first person narrative driven game. And it takes place in the cyberpunk futuristic landscape, which is a hell of a lot more interesting to me. Because I'm a sci-fi nerd, much more than a fantasy nerd.
They're in a rundown city where the poverty rate is higher than anywhere else. And,
so also, I want to mention that it is based on a pen and paper RPG by the same name, I believe. So...
Was it Cyberpunk 2022? I think that's what it was. I'm probably wrong, but this game is a first-person, I want to say shooter, just a first-person perspective RPG. Don't shake your head at me. And a lot of people complained about this aspect, but the developers have reassured us it's for the narrative of the game. They have like a whole engine built around this. They did tease that they have a 50-minute game. They have 50 minutes of gameplay footage, but they won't show it to anyone.
Yeah, it's I guess behind closed doors at the conference, which happens. It's just kind of frustrating because it basically just means that they're not confident enough to show it to the mass public. I guess it's probably has bugs and all that. Mm-hmm. Probably not giving it to anybody to play. They're just being like, hey, if you're a journalist, gotta wait in line, you come into our tent and I can show it to
Project Red, I'm a developer. You can trust me. I understand bugs. It's okay. I'll forgive you. All of us developers will forgive you. Just give me a developer pass and, I'll give you some feedback.
What I thought was cool is they said that if you're a Netrunner class, you could upload viruses into enemies' weapons.
Yeah,
make them not work.
Disable them.
That sounds cool.
Kind of sounds Metal Gear-y. Let's not get into Metal Gear. We talk about Metal Gear way too much. Metal Gear.
There are vehicles in this game that you can drive. He wouldn't go into more details.
You can drive vehicles. That's what he said.
They were asked if there's any co-op play, and he said, "We're not talking about multiplayer or online.
It's purely." Well, they're focused on a single-player experience. John mentioned the Netrunner class, but there's also Techie and Solar class. Solo class.
Unless there is a Solar class, powered by the sun.
I don't know. I heard Solo. So you can go into one of these classes or combine them, and they said it's kind of like a fluid class system. So if you pick one, decide you want to do another class based on the situation that you're in, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can combine characteristics of two classes and put them into one. But obviously, we don't know what's going on because we still haven't seen the gameplay footage. But there was a nice CGI trailer that I'm sure most of you have already watched.
So when it comes to like what Axel was saying with the first person mode, some people were upset because if they're CD Projekt Red fans and they love The Witcher, games that they like being able to customize their characters. But they said, of course, you could still see like your custom characters in the cutscenes and in like the
inventory screen.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I myself prefer third-person games because typically when I'm playing a video game, I don't think of it as like it's me. I feel like that I'm sort of an extension of a character. I like being a character in a game. I don't like it.
I wonder if this game's gonna have like VR features. I don't think they asked that.
No,
but
they didn't ask that.
It seems like the perfect opportunity for
Cyberpunk.
Like
yeah.
And in,
That'd be cool.
And in first person perspective, I don't know, that it makes me feel like it might end up going in that direction.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't ask that, Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Oh. And this game has been announced. Was announced in 2013. They said like 5 years ago.
So it's been
well
into development. And Jeff Keighley was like, "So how far along is it?"
Yeah.
And he's like doing this. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do that, but that's what it felt like. And they said it'll be ready when it's ready.
Booyah! No, I didn't say booyah. Oh, that's all I got.
Oh yeah, and there's 6 unique districts.
Ah.
Yeah, so there's 6 places to go. We don't know where they are or what they're about yet, but there are going to be 6
shops and people to talk to.
But this is supposed to be like the biggest open world RPG ever.
Well, I don't know.
Well, we'll see at the time.
That's what they say.
Whenever it comes out, we'll be the judge of that. So yeah, and obviously since this is a CD Projekt Red game, how you build up your character will affect the narrative of the game. It's a choice-based story, so you create your own destiny. But John hates that because he wants.
Well, I don't hate.
Sorry, I'm just being a dick.
If it's done well, choices in games are interesting. It's just a lot of times, that means that you might not necessarily have the best narrative experience. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the most difficult things as a writer to pull off. A story that has branching paths.
Branching storyline.
So
speaking of branching, I think we're gonna branch off.
I don't know if that's a phrase in the real world.
Shut up, John. I like making up things.
We're gonna stop now. We're getting a little bit weird.
Isn't that fun though?
And because it's like 9:30.
This is the real us.
We've been doing this since like 9:30 to 9:30, kind of. But yeah, like, share, subscribe,
hit the bell. Just
tell your mom, tell your dad, tell yourself.
Please tell your mom.
Tell yourself in the future, in the year 2077. And NYC, geek out.
Geek out.